Teachers fret? Oh my god, this episode from the Casagrandes sucks. Here are the reasons why I hate this episode in my opinion. The episode starts when Ronnie Ann and Arturo are walking through the park, where Arturo is displaying a surprising amount of admiration towards his daughter. Perplexed by this sudden change in attitude, Ronnie Ann asks her father what the good news is. Arturo says that he started dating someone. When asked who he's dating, Arturo reveals her name is Gina Galliano. Ronnie Ann immediately realizes that's the name of her teacher, and to her horror, Arturo confirms this. Later, when Ronnie Ann tells of this news to Bobby, she expresses that this is a bad thing, but Carl assures her that because she's dating her father, she'll show some leniency regarding her homework and tests. However, this proves to be not the case after all, as Miss Galliano still treats her like any other student of hers. At the skate park, as Ronnie Ann tells her story to Sid, her other friends arrive and ask what they're talking about. Sid attempts to answer, but Ronnie Ann stops her, saying that she wants to keep it a secret, lest her social life be ruined. Suddenly, Becky arrives and says she saw Miss Galliano on a date at the pizza restaurant. When Ronnie Ann's friends proceed to go see themselves, Ronnie Ann, in an attempt to prevent them from seeing her teacher and father together, asks Sergio and the pigeons for a distraction. At the pizza restaurant, just as Ms. Galliano and Arturo exit, the pigeons swarm the two and carry them away. Ronnie Ann, in an attempt to throw her friends off, tells them that Ms. Galliano is dating the librarian, and they quickly fall for it. The next day, as Ronnie Ann and Sid relax knowing they got the school to believe in a lie, that even made the school paper, Arturo suddenly arrives to give Ronnie Ann her lunch, and upon seeing Miss Galliano, asks her to see him in the hallway. The moment they exit, Becky tells Samir to give back her multicolored pen. When Samir is too mesmerized by the amount of colors it has to give it back, Becky proceeds to tell Miss Galliano, but upon opening the door, she sees Arturo and Miss Galliano kissing in the hallway, and immediately titles this information to her classmates. Before long, word of it has spread throughout the school and Ronnie Ann, wearing a trench coat to hide herself from the embarrassment, questions what to do now. When Sid comments that they could break up soon, Ronnie Ann says that they should try to break up the two. The first thing the girls try to do is give Miss Galliano a perfume made from the foul-smelling odor of a polecat. After making it and giving it to Miss Galliano, Ronnie Ann suggests cutting her hair into a mohawk, saying that Arturo likes that hairstyle. Later, at the fancy restaurant, Arturo is surprised to see Miss Galliano's new hair, and revolted by the foul-smelling odor. Nonetheless, the two ride on the subway together after their dinner. Ronnie Ann and Sid, who are sitting nearby, decide to go for another tactic. They apply honey onto one Arturo's hand, and attach it to Ms. Kernicki's hand, who was standing nearby. Realizing this, the two attempt to pull off from each other, but can't. Mrs. Kernicki says that the train has arrived at her stop, and decides to carry Arturo with her, giving Miss Galliano the impression that he's ditching her. However, upon seeing the two still being together, Ronnie Ann decides to put her best plan into action, Operation Miscommunication. This plan involves Ronnie Ann and Sid stealing Arturo and Ms. Galliano's phone so that they can change their contacts so that they text the wrong person instead. Ms. Galliano texts Vito, and Arturo texts Bruno. The next day, Bobby breaks the news to Ronnie Ann that Arturo and Ms. Galliano broke up. After feigning sadness and hanging up, Ronnie Ann begins to celebrate, along with Sid, who immediately knew what would happen. As the two excitedly run into their classroom, they discover Miss Galliano crying her eyes out on her desk. At that moment, Arturo arrives with tears running down his face to inform Ronnie Ann she forgot her lunch again. Seeing the two crying just as hard as each other, Ronnie Ann, believing this is a result of their breakup, confesses of her and Sid's plan to sabotage their relationship, saying that she couldn't bear to see them being together. However, Arturo and Ms. Galliano state that she didn't break them up, saying that they're better off being friends. When Ronnie Ann asks why they're crying so hard, Arturo says that his soccer team lost, and Ms. Galliano says that she tried on some new makeup, but it's seriously stinging her eyes. As Ronnie Ann and her friends hang out at the skate park, finally relieved that the whole ordeal is over, Casey points out that Maria is talking to Mr. Suarez, the school's robotics teacher. Ronnie Ann immediately fears that she's dating him, and Sergio quickly calls for the pigeons to help get rid of him. After being driven away by the birds, Maria reveals to the kids that Mr. Suarez was simply asking her for a bunion cure, making Ronnie Ann realize she made another assumption too quickly, and the episode ends. And that's how the episode goes. I don't know who likes or hates this episode, or what else sucks. So I'm gonna leave it be. Anyways, Spell It Out, which is my favorite episode from the Loud House, is 100 septillion times better than Teachers Fret. End of rant.